I want to say Semper Fi to my magnificent bastards. It's been 19 long years that have somehow seemed to just fly by. I remember shortly after April 6th, 2004 happened, I remember wondering what it would be like, 20 years into the future. Well, we're almost there. And it's strange. I can say that it doesn't get easier. If anything, it gets more solemn. There is always much to remember. There is always more phone calls to make to the parents, to the loved ones of those we lost. While we lost a brother in arms, someone else lost a son. Someone else lost a husband, a dad. And as much as we loved our Marines, you think they didn't love them more? I bet you that mom, that dad did. That spouse. Absolutely. And this is a day that we think about 19 years, day in and day out. We always think about April 6th. And in your mind, as you're approaching that day, you are anticipating just the emotional commemoration of it, the personal focus on it. And as it passes, it's kind of a strange feeling because it's gone. And then you know that it's another year before you have this much emotional direction towards it. Hopefully I'm making sense. Let me tell you what makes today special. Today is special because 12 Marines and a sailor gave their last full measure on this earth. They went into combat. They knew the danger. Yes, they were scared, but they went anyways towards the sound of gunfire, and they were killed in action. And the reason that we are commemorating it is because we knew them and they knew us. And we have a connection with one another. That's what makes it special. That's why the other days out of the year, when there's another service members that their death anniversary occurs, we don't go all out and remember it. Now, we do it Memorial Day for everybody across the board, but today, April 6th, matters to us because we knew them and we had that personal human connection. And they gave a sacrifice. They gave a very pure sacrifice. Now, they were flawed men. They weren't perfect, but we loved them and they loved us. None of them wanted to die that day. Nobody wanted to die. We all wanted to get back to the base. We all wanted to make it off that deployment and come back home and kiss the girlfriend or the spouse. But some men died. And the crazy thought that's always in my brain is that here we are 19 years later, and we've thought about this day so many times and talked about it so many times. And those men that died that day, they never lived to remember it. They never lived to talk about it with us. And that's a sad thing. And we would be shameful men if we did not honor their sacrifice by remembering them, by thanking them, by, in many ways, living for them. And I'll say this as a side note to anybody that goes out and takes their own life, in a quick, stupid instant. Shame on you. Because the men who died would not want you to do that. After they fought like hell to get you home, for you to go and take your own life, why don't you spit upon their sacrifice more? Let me back off from that. Their sacrifice is precious because It was made for you and me. And they knew us and we knew them. Today is also special. And I think in a very spiritual way that this day is special because we are on the eve of another sacrifice being commemorated. And that is of the most pure sacrifice, where Jesus Christ, who knows you, and you know who he is, he laid down his life for you. Now, it's debatable whether or not you deserved for PFC, anybody, Lance Corporal, Corporal, Staff Sergeant, anybody, to lay down their life for you. Were they a better man than you? Were you a better man than them? You know, all those things can go ahead and run through your head. Have fun with that. What is not debatable is this. You and I did not deserve for Jesus to lay down his life for us, because he was perfect and he is the king, and we are just subjects in the kingdom, and we are imperfect completely. And I do not deserve for the king to give his life for me. It would be a close, like almost starting to get their equivalent, would be if the commandant of the Marine Corps jumped on a grenade for the lowest ranking private in the entire Marine Corps. The stunning, like jaw-dropping realization of how remarkably strange that is. The commandant of the Marine Corps jumping on a grenade for a lowly private. Nobody's ever heard of such a thing. But that is what happened when Jesus Christ died for you and got his wrists and his feet nailed to a stump of wood on a cross for you. And you can't tell me that he doesn't know who you are and he doesn't know everything that you've done and that he didn't think about you from eternity past, and everything wrong that you've ever done, every imperfect thought you've had, every horrible action you've ever taken. He knows. And he did it for you because of that. And you and I know what love is. We know what sacrifice is. We love our brothers. How much more does he love you? If he's willing to lay down his life for you, knowing how imperfect you are, doesn't that tell you how much he really loves you? And so this year, I'm telling you, as a sergeant of Marines, to give honor to the King and remember his sacrifice this day. And there's quite a few Marines up in heaven right now that would tell you that you need to honor the King. I can tell you for sure, 3 men that I know that served King Jesus was Derek Halal, Moises Langhorst, and Todd Bolding. All 3 of those Marines I know served Jesus. Others I know did too. I just don't know them. I don't know that about them. I'll see you next time. Semper Fi. Kill 'em all.